wonderful? The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because the Lord has anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of prison to them that are bound, to proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord, and the day of vengeance of our God, to comfort all that mourn, to appoint unto them that mourn in Zion, to give unto them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they might be called trees of righteousness, the planting of the Lord, that he might be glorified. You would grab your Bibles and go to Joshua chapter 2 and Hebrews 31. Hebrews 11 verse 31. Joshua chapter 2. When you have it, say amen. If you don't have it and you're looking for it, say hold on. All right. I will hold. We will wait for you. Joshua is in your Bible. It's in the Old Testament. And this is Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua. If you see Judges, you went too far. If you see Genesis, you haven't gone far enough. If you are over in Jude, you've gone way past Joshua. Joshua. And we're going to find out who bruised Hebrews. All right. Hebrews. Chapter 11, verse 31. For the sake of time, you can run and reading, or you can just listen to me read. I'll be reading out of the King James Version. Not sure exactly where I'm going to stop, because we're going to cover the entire chapter 2 of Joshua. So I'll probably stop and pause, and then I'll tell you when you go to Hebrews 11 and 31. Amen? Amen. If you have your Bibles, please stand with us. And we at Total Praise and Worship Center, we stand for the reading of God's Word. Because we just like doing that and observing God's Word. Amen. When you go into a courtroom, they will say, all rise, and you best believe everybody got to rise, or the bailiff will escort you out. There's just something about honoring God's Word. If we can rise for potentates and those that are and other high officials in high places, certainly we can rise for the official reading of the Word of the Lord. Amen. Amen. Joshua chapter 2. Verse 1, and Joshua the son of Nun sent out of Shittim 2 men to spy secretly, saying, go view the land, even Jericho. And they went and came into an harlot's house named Rahab, and lodged there. And it was told the king of Jericho, saying, behold, there came men in hither tonight of the children of Israel to search out the country. And the king of Jericho sent unto Rahab, saying, bring forth the men that are come to thee, which are entered into thine house, for they be come to search out all the country. And the woman took the 2 men and hid them, and said thus, there came men unto me, but I wist not whence they were. And it came to pass about the time of shutting of the gate, when it was dark, that the men went out. Whither the men went, I wot not. Pursue after them quickly, for ye shall overtake them. But she had brought them up to the roof of the house, and hid them with the stalks of flax, which she had laid in order upon the roof. And the men pursued after them the way to Jordan unto the fords. And as soon as they which pursued after them were gone out, they shut the gate. And before they were laid down, she came up unto them upon the roof. And she said unto the men, I know that the Lord hath given you the land, and that your terror is fallen upon us, and that all the inhabitants of the land faint because of you. But we have heard how the Lord dried up the water of the Red Sea for you, when ye came out of Egypt, and when ye did unto the 2 kings of the Amorites, that were on the other side Jordan, Sihon and Og, whom ye utterly destroyed. And as soon as we had heard these things, our hearts did melt. Neither did they remain any more courage in any man because of you. For the Lord your God, he is God in heaven above and in earth beneath. Amen.
Amen.
Now therefore, I pray you, swear unto me by the Lord, since I have showed you kindness, that you will also show kindness unto my father's house,
Amen.
and give me a true token. And that ye will save alive my father, and my mother, and my brethren, and my sisters, and all that they have, and deliver our lives from death. And the men answered her, our life for yours. If ye utter not this our business, and it shall be when the Lord hath given us the land, that we will deal kindly and truly with thee. Then she let them down by a cord through the window, for her house was upon the town wall, and she dwelt upon the wall. And she said unto them, get ye to the mountains, lest the pursuers meet you, and hide yourselves there 3 days, until the pursuers be returned, and afterward may ye go your way. And the men said unto her, we will be blameless of this thine oath which thou hast made us swear. Behold, when we come into the land, thou shalt bind this line of scarlet thread in the window which thou didst let us down by. And thou shalt bring thy father, and thy mother, and thy brethren, and all thy father's household home unto thee. And it shall be that whosoever shall go out of the doors of thy house into the street, his blood shall be upon his head, and we will be guiltless. And whosoever shall be with thee in the house, his blood shall be on our head, if any hand be upon him. Go over to Hebrews 11 and 31. By faith the harlot Rahab perished not with them that believed not, when she had received the spies with peace. Father, we thank you for your love, your grace, and your mercy, your presence. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight, for you are my strength and you are my redeemer. Have your way continually in this place. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. You may be seated.
Hallelujah. Thank you, God.
Thank you, Jesus.
Hallelujah.
Thank you.
Hallelujah. We'll just walk through this passage really quickly. And Joshua the son of Nun sent out Shittim 2 men to spy secretly, saying, go to the land, even Jericho. And they came and went into a harlot's house named Rahab, and stayed there, and lodged there. Henry Morris shares that some theologians would have you believe that Rahab was an innkeeper. That the 2 spies left from the wilderness and went over Jordan and came to an innkeeper named Rahab. But your Bible and my Bible says that Rahab was a harlot.
Amen.
That's what the Bible says.
Amen.
If the Bible wanted her to be an innkeeper, it would have said what happened when Jesus, Mary, and Joseph went searching for a place to stay. It said they went to an inn, right?
Yeah.
So they went to an innkeeper's house, right?
Amen.
So the Bible doesn't mince words about Rahab being a harlot.
That's right.
It doesn't mince words at all, and I found that very significant, that someone would try to soften Rahab's history. And someone would try to soften where Rahab came from. I don't know if it was a point because Rahab happens to be the great-great-great-grandmother of Jesus, because she happened to be in the lineage of Jesus, and they didn't know if people would necessarily want to follow Jesus because his great-great-great-grandmother happened to be a harlot. But the Bible doesn't mince words about what Rahab's background was. It called her a harlot because she was a harlot. But not only was she a harlot, she was also a businesswoman. And she did have an inn. She did keep an inn, and she did have people coming and staying with her. But let's not forget where we come from simply because it doesn't sound good rolling off the tongue. Let's not forget where we come from, because other people tend to turn their nose down about my history. I'm not going to forget about where I come from, because where I come from is not where I am today. There's nothing wrong with being a harlot so long as you're not practicing that anymore. There's nothing wrong with being a drug addict so long as you're not practicing that anymore. There's nothing wrong with being an alcoholic so long as you're not practicing it. There's nothing wrong with having children out of wedlock so long as you don't from you. It all matters about where you are present day. Where are you right now, Rahab? And Rahab said, well, walk with me and see a little bit about my history, because some theologians, as smart as they are, wanted to cover up where I came from, but I was on the wall. I was able to see what men was coming and what men were going. I was able to see who wanted to stop over at Rahab's house for a little party and who wanted to go ahead and pass by. It's interesting that the Bible was not ashamed of Rahab's background and was not ashamed of Rahab's lineage. It was not ashamed of what she had to do, but in fact talked about it, because it grants us all hope. It grants us all an understanding that we are on a level playing field. There's no differences. You're no different than me, and I'm no different than you. The only difference that we have is in the practice of our faith, in the practice of our hope, in the practice of believing what God said be true. It's interesting that in verse 2 and verse 3 it says that people were paying attention to Rahab's house. They were paying attention who was coming and who was going. They was paying attention of who she was entertaining. It's not by happenstance that everybody want to be in your business. It's not just Facebook. I'm not even on Facebook, but people still know a little bit about me. It's not by mistake that people are searching out who you are and what you do, and they're interested in you, and you're wondering why, and thinking that you don't have anything interesting going on, but you do. See, there's something that God has been talking to you in the midnight hour about, and you can't shake it. There's something that God has been stirring up in your spirit, and you can't let it go. And you're thinking that it's going to go away, but it won't. It won't, because he sees something in you worth salvaging. He sees something in you worth saving. He sees something in you that can be greater than your present condition. He sees something in you that says, this one right here knows how to fight. This one knows how, right here knows how to stand. This one right here knows how to make enterprise out of something that other people will say, well, I don't know if I'm going to necessarily do that. This one right here will make a bad situation work for them.
Yes. All right.
So the king even knew about Rahab's house. People in high places knew about Rahab. These gentlemen that came and were sent by Joshua were not coming in search of Rahab. They were coming to spy out the land as they were told. Is it not interesting that Joshua sent them out 2 by 2, just like Jesus?
Yes.
Sent them out 2 by 2. Joshua learned something from that first journey some 40 years ago. I'm not sending 12 out. I don't need a crowd to go and see what God said. I don't need a crowd to echo what God said. I only need a couple of people that will walk in the divine will of the Lord and do God's will and do God's purpose, just to go and look and spy out the land. Not to see if that's what God said we were going to have, but just to let me know what's going on over in my land, what's going on over in my blessing, what's going on in the area that God promised me. Not to come back and tell me what God said, but for you to just go out there and see what's going on. I don't need a crowd with me.
Yes.
The Bible says where 2 or 3 are coming together, touching and agreeing in anything, the Lord is in the midst.
That's right. That's right.
So Joshua he learned a little bit from Moses.
Yes.
So it says that the men went in to the house, because after a while, I remember on PBS and some other shows that we had a little cartoon that shows about Joshua and the spies. And it showed, I went and saw the little cartoon again because I just wanted to go down memory lane, but it talks about the woman took the 2 men. She took them. There wasn't no shame in her game.
All right.
She came out strong in who she was. This is what I do. And there's nobody's questioning why you're here. Nobody's questioning that these 2 men are at my door, because after all, the Bible declared who I was.
That's right.
So it's no problem with men coming in and out of Rahab's house. She took these 2 men and she hid them.
Yes.
And said, there came men unto me. Or she hid them high on her roof.
Yes.
There's something interesting about her hiding them high above the roof. She was in the divine will of God, because they did have to spy out the land.
That's right.
And sometimes you got to get a little higher than eye level to see what's going on. Sometimes you got to step outside of your situation and ask God to elevate your thinking and elevate your minds and elevate your faith and elevate your prayers and elevate that what you were expecting, so you can see see things on a higher level. Sometimes I get in a situation and I think, woe is me. I'm the only one going through what I'm going through. And God tends to elevate me a little bit higher and say, baby, you're not the only one going through. You're not the only one being ridiculed. You're not the only one having to struggle. Let me take you up a little bit higher so you can see what's going on all around you. Or let me take you up a little bit higher so I can remind you why you are in the situation that you are in. You're not here just to stay in Rahab's house. You're not here just to stay in this state, but you're here to see what I have available to you. Lord, I'm available to you. And then he says, well, I have some things that are available for you. Get a little bit higher.
All right, all right.
They didn't struggle with her.
Thank you, Father.
They went with her and went high on the roof. And then it says she hid them and laid flax on them. And I found that it was interesting. The Bible doesn't say anything just to be saying it.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't say anything. Every word was meant to be said the way it was said and meant to be placed where it was placed within a sentence.
That's right.
Isn't it interesting? Isn't it interesting that she had flax that she laid on her roof? Which means she had multiple enterprises. Which means when we go over to Proverbs 31 and you have the king's son talking to the king's mother talking to her son when she says, Lemuel is not for kings to drink strong drink or to be with loose women or anything of that nature. And it says, it goes down in verse 11, I believe in Proverbs 31 and 11, it says she works willingly with her hands with flax. But it showed that Rahab was already operating as a virtuous woman, but some things she hadn't tied up. There were some things she didn't have quite right, but she was operating as a virtuous woman in certain areas. She just had to tie up the loose ends, if you know what I mean. Because she was already working willingly. Your Bible, if we look back over, said that she laid the flax out, which means that she was going to use the flax to actually dye it and dry it out and prepare it for linen. And then Samuel's mother, which it doesn't say Samuel, but if you do your history in Proverbs 31, it's talking about Samuel's mother, which is Bathsheba, which was with David. And David's daddy was who? Jesse. And Jesse's daddy was who? Boaz. And Boaz's mama was who? Rahab. Rahab actually married a man out of Judah. And so she was able to work willingly with her hands and talk about a woman had enterprise because she probably thought about Grandma Rahab. Talking about a woman that was virtuous and had many and multiple businesses. Now, we ain't going to do what we used to do to get the money, but we're going to have, you're going to read it later. You're going to read it later.
Yes.
You're going to read it later.
Hallelujah.
And so the men came and said, where are those men at that came into your house? You know the two I'm talking about. The two that have been anointed. The two that don't walk like the rest of us walk. The two that don't talk like the rest of us talk. Where are those men that are willing worshipers? Where are those men that want to come in and praise and lift up the name of Jesus? Where are those men that will stand for righteousness? Where are those men that will stand tall as mighty men of valor? Where are they? We know they came to your house because there's no men like them in the land. Where are those mighty men of valor? And Rahab had taken them higher and elevated them to a higher level. And ladies, let me tell you something. It's important for us to be virtuous women, and so we can get down low and pray and lay prostrate for the Lord and place our men on a higher level and say, God, elevate that man's mind. God, elevate that man's spirit. God, stand behind these men and help them to be mighty men of valor. Help them to be who you called for them to be. You called them to be the leaders. You called them to be the priests in the home. Help them to be who you want them to be. Help me to raise this young boy to be a mighty man of valor.
Hallelujah.
Wow.
Thank you, Father. Hallelujah.
Rahab was teaching
Yes, she was.
in Joshua chapter 2.
Yes.
How to protect and not tear down.
Yes.
How to encourage and not discourage. How to esteem that man higher than herself. She could have took him in her bedroom.
Yes.
But she said, I don't need to lay you down in my bed. I need to take you a little bit higher so you can get in tune with God and look out and see what God has available for you. I need this man to be elevated on another level so that he can save a nation that's in my womb. Is there anybody that's willing to pray for a man? Is there anybody that's willing to stand for man? she told him, hey, there were some men that came to me. I don't know where they went. The ones you looking for, I don't know where they went.
Mm-hmm.
I know the ones I have.
All right.
But those ain't the one you looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go run and go look for the men you looking for.
Thank you, Father.
If you go run after them quickly, you might be able to find them and overtake them.
Mm-hmm.
She had brought them to the roof of her house and hid them with stalks of flax.
Thank you, Father.
And she laid in order upon her roof.
Yes.
And then, so she went upstairs. And before the men laid down, she said, I need to talk to you. Now, y'all got to understand why this is significant. Why all of this is significant. Because Rahab is in the Middle East. Rahab is a woman in the Middle East.
All right.
Rahab is a woman in the Middle East who's a harlot.
Uh-huh.
All right.
You don't want to talk to anybody that you know are doing anything like that here in the Midwest.
That's right.
But back then, women were not allowed to talk to men.
Uh-huh.
Unless you were on the other side of things. Women were not allowed to engage with men at any level. Women didn't own anything.
That's right.
Women were basically to walk, what was it, 7 steps, 8 steps behind a man. And here come Rahab. For some reason, God allowed her to grow in a less than good situation,
Yeah.
so that she can actually come into the lineage of God.
Yeah.
So that she can be who God created her to be. And as she grew in these unfavorable situations, she got holy boldness to go where no man or no woman, shall I say, has gone before. She went straight up to the man and said, we need to talk.
Uh-huh. Right.
All right.
I have some business to do with you, see, because I've been talking to the Lord and the Lord has been talking to me, and I need you to help me
Yes.
like I have helped you.
Yes.
I need you to cover me
Yes.
like I have covered you. And I don't need you just to cover me, but I need you. I'm standing in the gap for my mama.
Yep.
I'm standing in the gap for my father. I'm standing in the gap for my sister. I'm standing in the gap for my brother. And everything that is in time to them, I'm standing in the gap for them. I need you to be kind to me. I know that you are anointed.
Yes.
I know that you are a mighty man of valor.
Yes.
I know that you are a mighty man of valor. And I know, we already know that this land is not our land. We already know that this here is your land. We already know that we are sitting here renting this land, and it's time for the owners to come and evict us. We already know.
Yes.
All right.
We already know. I already know that you are anointed and appointed. She sat there and she affirmed them. She sat there and she encouraged them. She said, you guys are brilliant. God's hand is on you, man of God. God's anointing is on you, man of God. Everywhere your foot treads, God said he's given it to you in all this land, even though you haven't walked all the land, but you've seen all the land. All the land that your eyes have laid on, God has given it to you. And I need you to deal kindly
Yes.
with me
Yes. Hallelujah.
as I have dealt with you. I need you
Yes.
to remember me.
Yes.
Oh,
I need mercy.
Yes.
See, God has been giving me grace to be here.
Yes.
God has given me grace to be up on this wall. It's not by happenstance that I'm on this wall. It's not by happenstance that I've been in this situation. It's not by happenstance that my family has allowed me to work in this enterprise. It's not by happenstance that some people are reaping the benefits on things that cause me problems and cause me sorrow and cause me depression and cause me to sometimes even hate myself. It's not by happenstance, but I see a silver lining coming through with my history. I see a silver lining coming through on straight.
Yes.
Be sure of who you are.
Yes.
All right.
And we as virtuous women will cover you.
Yes.
We will elevate you in prayer. We will encourage you. We will celebrate you. We will stand by you. We will ensure that the greatest that we have for you, you get the big piece of chicken every night. We're going to make sure of it.
Yes. Yes.
Hallelujah.
Thank you, Father. Hallelujah.
So she began to
Hallelujah.
negotiate with them about her salvation.
Yes.
She began to negotiate with them about life
Hallelujah.
after the overtake.
Yes.
And she said, I need you to remember us, my whole family.
Yes.
And they said, we will do that.
Mm-hmm.
I remember you, ladies.
Yes.
Negotiate with godly men.
All right.
And negotiate with the godly men. If he don't come to church, he don't pray daily, him and the Lord are not on a first name basis, you don't need to negotiate with him. You don't need to engage with him. I remember being a teenager thinking it was going to be boring to have someone saved, because I'm like, one of us has to have experience. And I don't want to have the experience. I'd rather he have it. So ignorant. So ignorant. Don't sell yourself short by thinking you want someone that has street experience. You want somebody that has God experience. You want somebody to know how to get a prayer through. You want somebody that will listen and lend their ear unto the Lord. You want someone that knows how to stand and be who God has created them to be. That's what you want. That's really what you want. That's really what you want. That's really, tell somebody that's what you want. That's really what you want. That's what you want. And we as mothers need to raise our men, our men children, to be that way and not think that they are less than or not equal to because they want to pray, and think that they're not less than or equal to because they want to read their word, or think that they're not less than or equal to because they want to raise their hands. It's godly for a godly man to raise his hands in church. It's godly for a godly man to cry in church. It's godly for a godly man to say, Lord, I need thee. Oh, I need thee every hour. I need thee. Bless me now, my Savior. It's godly and it's good. Hallelujah. For us to raise our men to be who God created them to be. So she's making a deal. Let me hurry up. She's making a deal about saving her family so that she will not perish when she knows that that the people of Israel come to take back the land. And she begins to talk to them in verse 9 and verse 10. And she says, I remember when, and we heard about the Lord drying up the Red Sea. Now this is before Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, MySpace, YoSpace, before all of social media. But they heard the echo of the blessings of the Lord all the way in the land of the living that was called Canaan, that was called Jericho. They heard about the exploits that God had did when they was in Egypt over 40 years ago. They heard about, they knew at some point God was going to reveal himself in their land. She said, we've been worried, we've been scared this whole time, knowing that God was going to do something great. We just don't know when. But now you showed up here in the city right now, and I know that the deliverance is at hand. I know that the blessing is at hand. I know that God's award and his reward is at hand. And I gotta make a deal with you because God is doing something great, and I want to be in the middle. I want to be in the flow. I don't want God to bless what I'm doing, but I want to get in the flow of what he's doing. Because if I get in the flow of what he's doing, I know that I'm going to be blessed.
Hallelujah.
So she reminded them of where they came from.
Okay.
She reminded them of the many exploits that God had done for them. I can imagine, can you imagine being on a roof, hiding, because somebody wants to kill you for just stepping foot in their land? And here she comes up the roof to wheel and deal, but also to encourage. Can you imagine somebody, baby, I remember where you come from. I remember when you didn't have 2 nickels to rub together, but God still provided. I remember when you didn't know where your next meal was going to come from, but God showed up as Jehovah Jireh. I remember when you didn't know what you was going to do and how the light was going to be paid, but God paid your life, and your life was on all winter long. I remember when you thought they was going to cut the gas off, but the gas still showed up and the gas was still on. I remember when you went into the refrigerator and you thought they ate all the food, but there was still food in the refrigerator. I remember when you was going from here, there, and everywhere, and God showed up on time. I remember when you were sick on your sick bed, and God said that I am Jehovah Rapha, I am a healer, and you didn't have to go to the doctor now one more time. God healed you from the crown of your head to the sole of your feet, from the inside. I remember when you were going through situations and straits, and God showed up like only he can, and made you look like you never went through anything. I remember about to happen. Why? Because you set your Holy Ghost foot on their land. They knew that things could not stay the same anymore.
That's right.
And so their heart melted because they said it ain't going to be the same no more. We can't have the same neighborhood we used to have. We can't have the same parties that we used to have. There's some things that's going to change. Now this Holy Ghost filled person that believes in the Lord Savior Jesus Christ has set foot here on our land. This person is now coming lifting up their hands, not to high five me to go do something we ain't got no business doing, but they lifting up their hands and say, oh, glory go to God. I know something is going to happen, and their hearts begin to melt because they knew that things would never be the same. And you know how you can tell when the enemy knows that you have gotten your mind right? It's when all hell starts to break loose. When you set foot in a situation and all you want to do is be who God created you to be, and then all hell breaks loose, and you wonder what is going on. All I'm doing is lifting up my hands and giving God glory. All I'm doing is lifting up my hands and giving God praise. All I'm doing is praying. All I'm doing is praising. All I'm doing is trying to be who, and all hell is breaking loose. What is going on? Well, see, this is it. Your enemy don't play nice.
No.
He don't play nice. And so when you begin to walk in the divine will of the Lord, and you begin to be who God created you to be, he's been observing you.
Yes.
And as soon as he saw you at the fork of the road, he's like, okay. But she and he, they got a little bit of taste of praise. And they got a little bit of taste of worship. But if they take 2 more steps, and they're going to be coming back to take what I stole from them. And I don't necessarily want to give it up. It's not because I enjoy it. It's not because I enjoy it, because he can't enjoy anything good. It's simply because he don't want you to have it. So instead of him just freely giving it up because he can't enjoy it, he's one of these crazy type, insane type of individuals that says, if I can't have it, can't nobody have it. But you keep on walking and you keep on talking and being who God created you to be, and the enemy will try to confuse your wise thinking to make you think that there's something wrong with you. Ain't nothing wrong with you, baby. What you gotta do is keep praising. What you gotta do is keep loving. What you gotta do is keep lifting up your hands. You gotta keep being who God created you to be. You gotta keep saying, God, you are awesome. You gotta keep saying, God, you are great. You gotta keep saying, God, you are a deliverer. You gotta keep saying, God, you are a healer. You gotta keep saying, God, you are a way maker. I'm gonna stand back and be myself, and I'm gonna let you be God. I'm not gonna allow anything to dissuade me from what I have confessed. The enemy just kicks up dust, playing in smoke and mirrors to try to get you to stop being who God created you to be. He can't stop you. He can't stop you. Newsflash, he cannot stop you. The only thing he can do is put up some smoke and some mirrors to make you think that you can't move forward, to make you think that your history precludes and keeps you away from God's blessing. That's all he's doing. But you defy the enemy when you say, I don't care how long it's been since I've been to church. I'm going to give God glory right now. I'm going to give God glory right now. If I feel like I don't want to praise him, if I feel like I can't lift my hands because I haven't lived right. I don't remember Rahab that went to the roof. I don't remember Rahab that went and made a deal with some people that had a relationship with God. I don't remember that she thought enough of herself and enough of her family to say, I got to lift my hands. No matter the situation. Right on some rented land, I lift my hands. I'm coming out with my hands up. I'm coming out saying, Lord, I surrender. I'm coming out saying, Lord, you are faithful. I'm coming out saying, you are the King of Kings. You're right, you're right, you're right, you're right. You are the Lord of Lords. You're right. You are the great I am. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Thank you, Father. Hallelujah.
So she made this deal. And that it's not a deal if there aren't any penalties associated with the deal. It's not a good agreement if there aren't any penalties. There has to be, if you got a good agreement, this is business 101.
Yes.
You have to have penalties for anyone that does not get into alignment with the agreement. There must be penalties. There must be something that say, hey, all right, I'm going to make this deal because you benefit and I'm benefiting. We both winning in this deal. But understand this, we will not hurt you or your family so long as everybody that you want to be saved is in the house. Woo, woo. People think that to be in the house.
All right. Say it.
It's not optional.
No.
It's not, you don't get to come first Sunday and seventh Sunday. You don't get to come on Christmas, Mother's Day, and Easter. You don't get to come on watch night because you're not sure if you're going to make it into the next year. And why would you want to live like that any old way? That's kind of, we'll talk about it later. Why would you want to live like that?
Yes.
You don't get to decide how you come in and out of relationship with the Lord.
That's right.
You don't get to decide how you come in and out of worship with the Lord. If you only cracking open your Bible on Sunday, you're not cracking it open enough. If you're only lifting your hands on Sunday, you're not lifting it enough. If you're only lifting up your praise on Sunday, you're not lifting it enough. Now understand, your praise is needed every day.
Yes.
Prayers are needed every day. Worship is a lifestyle.
Yes.
This is not worship.
No, it's not.
This is an example of praise.
Yes.
This is an example of exhortation. This is not worship. When I set foot off this stage and get down there with y'all and act like I got some sense, that's worship.
Yes.
When I get with my friends that ain't been to Sunday service with me and I act like I got some sense, that's worship. When I go to the store and I take only what I paid for, that's worship. When I go to bed with my man, that's my man. Yes. When I go to bed with my man, that's worship. When I leave y'all's men alone, that's worship. When I take care of my children, that's worship. When I go to work and give a full day's work for a full day's pay, that's worship. Hallelujah. When I see you higher than I see myself, that's worship. When I celebrate your success, that's worship. When I exhort you to be the men and women of God that God has called for you to be, that's worship. This is praise. This is worship. There's a difference. Don't come in here on Sunday and think you worshiping when all you doing is this, and this, and this. That's praise. Definitely come here with it. But when you get through doing all that, I need you to live a worship lifestyle. I need you to walk in worship. I need you to talk in worship. If Jesus wants to come in on your conversation, he can say, that baby worshiping me in her conversation. That baby be worshiping me as she go to the store. That baby worshiping me as she go on to do her life's duty.
Yes.
That's worship.
Hallelujah.
This and this is a form of worship.
Yes.
But the majority of what we do is praise.
Yes.
That's what we do the majority of the time, which is good.
Yes.
But worship will cause you to be elevated.
Yes.
Worship will cause you to be hidden in plain sight. Worship will cause God to open the gates and say, go on in there and pick something nice for yourself.
Yes.
Worship will cause God to open up the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing that you have no room to receive. But when you get that much of a blessing, you know how to share the blessing. You know how to share the blessing. So she went on, let me wrap up real quick. So she encouraged them and told them, you already know who you are. Do you know who you are?
All right.
Do you know who you are? Do you know who you are? There's a reason why your mother didn't get to abort you. There's a reason why you were not miscarried. There's a reason why you were not stillborn. There's a reason why you were not a SIDS victim. There's a reason why you survived child molestation, rape, drug addiction, hurt, pain.
Yes.
There's a reason why you, because you are a virtuous woman of God.
Yes.
Because you are a mighty man of valor.
Yes.
Because in order for the anointing to come out, that oil has to be pressed out of the olive. The olive don't just get to sit on the table and oil just oozes out. No, it's in the pressing.
Yes.
It's in the shaking.
Yes.
It's in the making.
Yes.
That's when the oil comes out. And if you want that EVOO, that extra virgin olive oil, you got to go through a whole lot to get the anointing. You got to go through a whole lot to get the favor of God unto you, because he can trust you with it.
That's right. That's right.
So he said, okay, I'll make a deal with you. They got to stay in the house. When your family get here, you get to go out and tell your family. That's why we say tell your family about what you heard. Any other time, if you got something good, you remember back in the day, I got that fire. I got that good. I got something that you gonna like real nice.